Okay, boys and girls, this is a little bit more advanced. We called it the Golf Maze Challenge. And so once you've mastered the simple one line of code to get you through a golf course, we're going to add several lines of code so that we can start Sphero here at the beginning, hit go, and watch it progress through the maze that we've made all the way to the end. Okay, it's going to take a lot of trial and error. Here I am at my home screen, and just like before, I'm going to go to Programs, and then I'm going to start. I'm going to hit the plus button here for a new program, and it's really important that I name this one because I might not finish this challenge in one day, and I'm going to want to come back to it. So I might use my name. Real quick, I'm going to use my name and just call it Maze 1. This way, if I need to come back another day, it will be there for me. And now you'll see this looks just like the screen before, but this time instead of just creating one line of code, I'm going to be creating several, and it's going to take a lot of trial and error to get it perfect. But I'm going to start with actions like before, and I'm using the roll function. So I'm going to pull and drag up the one line of code here. Now you see Sphero on the ground. I want Sphero to get all the way down here to where I want to turn right. So my first line of code through trial and error, I want to get it to stop right there. So I'm going to play with the duration here. I'm going to start with 3 seconds, and then I'm going to switch to speed, and I'm going to start, because this is my first time, I'm going to start in the middle here, right around 134. This might be way too fast, and that's okay. Heading is going to be, it looks pretty straight, so I'm going to keep it straight like so, and then just like previously, I want to work this aim button and just make sure the light on the Sphero is pointing directly back at me and my iPad so that when I expect it to go straight, it goes straight. Okay, so I'm ready with my first attempt, and this will probably fail miserably, and that's okay. We learn from our mistakes. So I'm going to hit start. Yep, and you'll notice I went quite a bit too far. So we're going to bring it back, and I don't really need to change everything. The direction was pretty good. So really I have a choice here. I can change the duration of the roll, or I could change the speed. I'm going to try and change the speed. It went too far. I'm going to bring it down to about 75. I'm going to keep the duration the same and see what kind of impact that has. So again, trial and error. So now I'm going to hit start again. Okay, a little bit too short. So of course, I don't want to, again, like I said, I don't want to mess with too many things. I'm going to keep the duration at 3 seconds, and I'm just going to increase the speed a little bit. And this time I'll try 90. And here we go. Oh, and I might, every once in a while, I'm going to check that aim thing and just make sure I have it calibrated correctly. Looks ready, so I'm going to hit start. Hopefully I'm a little closer this time. Ooh, and you see that's pretty good. I got it to a good spot there. Okay, so the first line of code worked really well. I got it right where I want it to. So now I'm going to start to think about my second shot. And the first thing that's we've learned that's really important is I want this Sphero to stop right here, because if I just put the next line of code in, it's just going to go right from one spot to the next, and that's going to cause it to curve, and it's really hard to control. So I want it to stop there. And there is a stop button here, but that's not the one that I want to use. I want to hit controls, which is next to the actions button, and I'm actually putting in a delay right here. So I'm going to drag, just like I did for the actions, I'm going to bring in a delay, and I can put in how long I want the delay to be, and I want it to be 2 seconds to make sure it comes to a full stop. So I'm going to make sure I have my delay in there, and then I'm ready for the next shot. And from here, I'm looking at the distance, and it looks like about a third of the distance of my first shot. So I'm going to be going that far, and then I want it to go, it looks like it's making a little bit more than a 90-degree turn. So I'm going to go a little bit more than 90 degrees. So I'm bringing up, again, the roll line of code. And like I said, it's 1/3. And before I went 3 seconds, so 1/3 of that is 1. I'm going to put that in as my duration. And I'll keep my speed constant. This gauge is difficult to manipulate and try and get to 90, so I'll just press on the number, and that'll bring this up where I can just manually type in, oh yeah, 90 for my speed. Good. And then my angle, I said it looks like I want to go a little bit more than 90 degrees. I'm going to try 93 degrees. Like that. So now I've got 3 lines of code here. I'm going to go back to the very start, and it's really important. I probably should have marked exactly where I started. If I start from a different place, it'll mess everything up. I've got a pretty good memory. I think I was right about there. So before I test my code, I want to again make sure that light is pointing directly at me. That looks pretty good. So now I'm ready to test my code. So if it goes as planned, it's going to go down there, stop, and then it's going to turn back to the right, and we'll see how close I can get to my objective. Here we go. So it should stop. And I'm happy with that. That's good. Okay, in the interest of saving time, 7 hours later, we've completed the rigorous process of trial and error. We've got our successful line of code, and then we're going to show you our successful run at the finish line.